I am on a never-ending crusade to convince authors who aren't reading to read. So how much time do you spend reading on a weekly basis, monthly basis?
Nowhere near enough. Like I spent a lot of time reading in my youth, and I got away from reading science fiction for a while because it pissed me off. It was being too technical, and it had lost some of its humanity. And that was really irritating to me. So I stopped reading that for a while. And then I actually started reading romance around that same time. So because it has more humanity in it. So I would say I really don't read a lot of fiction. And it's not good. So I kind of like don't follow my own advice with that. I read a ton of nonfiction, tons and tons of nonfiction. I'm reading all the time. And I get a lot of ideas for my fiction from my nonfiction. So, there's crossover there. And I have a little bit of a trouble with fiction because I'm kind of an addict with it. So, like, if I find a book that I really like, I mean, I just like, I'll stay up all night reading it, and like I get that obsessive thing. So I have to be very careful not to do that while I'm trying to write because it interferes a little bit with my mojo. So yes, you need to read. It's more like you need to be aware of what readers like. And you don't have to, I mean, like, how many novels can you read in a year? Even if you were super spending all your time doing it. The people that honestly, the people that write a lot, they do read, but I would say that the mix is they're spending more time writing than reading. If you're spending more time reading than writing, maybe that works for you. But the people that I see that are actually writing a lot, that's not the mix that they have. They have either equal or more slanted to hours at the keyboard producing their works. So
Something I've started doing just to help me out, because if I get to the end of a particularly long work day and I've been staring at words on a page all day, either writing them, revising them, or some combination thereof, the last thing I want to do after all that is, okay, let's relax by staring at more words on a page. So one thing I'll do is I've got a firm rule that first thing in the morning, that's reading time. Get me somebody else's book. Let me wake up, have my coffee, and I'll read for an hour before I start my thing. And then at night it's audiobooks, because then I can also, do whatever I didn't do during the day around the house, or put on a video game and kind of veg out a little bit, but also keep up with what's going on in genres and what's going on with my friends, because I'm going to see them at conferences and things. And sooner or later they're going to ask me, Shiley, did you read my book? And I don't want to lie and be like, yeah, I loved it. Don't ask me any follow-up questions.
Whatever works for you. People listen to audiobooks on the treadmill. There's all different ways to fit books in if you are, keen to do it. There's ways to make it happen. I read with my kids. That's one of my go-to times, is every night before bedtime. That's our wind down time. And my kids are like 15 and up, right? They're not little kids. But we each get a couch and we each have our own book, and it's just quiet time where we sit and do our reading. So,
Oh,
whatever
that's
works.
nice.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a fun bonding time too. So it does double duty that way.
Plus,
So
you get to do a little bit of research, right? If you ask them what they thought of the books, what they liked about them, what they didn't like, that sort of thing.
yeah, or just to see what they're reading. A lot of times they're like reading stuff for school or whatever, but we can talk a little bit about it, and it's a cool time.